There is a version of you that exists on the other side of this season, one that looks back at exactly this moment and understands everything. That version of you is not wondering if it was worth it. That version of you is not questioning whether the waiting made sense. That version of you knows with absolute clarity that every single day of this season was necessary, that nothing was wasted, that the silence had a purpose, and that what felt like the longest stretch of your life was actually the most important one. You are not there yet, but you are closer than you think. And today, this message exists for one reason only: to reach you before you give up on what has not yet arrived. You have been in a waiting season, not a short one. Not the kind that passes in a few weeks and resolves neatly into the next chapter. A real one. The kind that stretches across months or years. The kind where the prayers are consistent, but the answers are not visible. The kind where people around you seem to be advancing while your ground stays quiet. The kind that tests not your ability, but your endurance, not your talent, but your trust. And somewhere inside this season, a quiet question has been forming. It does not always announce itself out loud. Sometimes it stays beneath the surface, disguised as discouragement, disguised as distraction, disguised as the impulse to settle for something smaller than what you were called to. But underneath all of it, the question is the same. Did I miss something? Is this still going somewhere? Am I still on the right path? Is it still worth holding on? This message is the answer to that question, yes. Still, yes. But I want you to understand why. Not just feel it for the next hour and lose it by morning. I want you to understand the mechanics of what has been happening in this season, what it has been doing in you, and why it was not possible for you to receive what is coming without first walking through exactly what you have been walking through. So stay here. Give this your full attention. Before we go further, if this opening has already found something real in you, hit the like button right now and subscribe to this channel so you never miss a message created for seasons like the one you are in. And drop 777 in the comments below. Let that number be your quiet declaration that you are still believing, still holding, still here. Now, let us go deeper. Waiting is not passive. That is the first thing most people misunderstand about it. From the outside, a waiting season looks like nothing is happening. The calendar moves forward, the days accumulate, and the visible landscape of your life does not appear to change in the ways you were expecting. So the assumption forms that this is empty time, a gap, a delay, a pause between meaningful things. That assumption is completely wrong. Waiting, the biblical kind, the purposeful kind, is one of the most active and demanding spiritual processes a human being can move through. It is not rest. It is refinement. It is not emptiness. It is preparation being compressed into a form that will be strong enough to carry what is coming. Consider what gold requires before it becomes what it is meant to be. It does not arrive at its final form through ease. It arrives through fire, and not a brief fire. A sustained, precise, controlled heat that removes everything that does not belong. Everything that would weaken the final material. Everything that looks like gold but is not. The fire is not punishment. The fire is the process. And the gold that comes out of it is not diminished by what it went through. It is defined by it. You are in that fire right now. What is being removed in this season is not your calling. It is not your hope. It is not the promise. What is being removed is everything in you that would have corrupted the promise if you had received it before the fire was finished. The impatience. The parts of your identity that were built on what others thought of you rather than what you actually carry. the tendency to move from fear rather than faith, the dependence on visibility as your primary source of confidence. These things feel like you when they are in you. That is why removing them requires a season that stays long enough to separate them from what is actually yours. You cannot rush that separation, and God does not rush it, because He is not interested in handing you something you will damage because you were not yet ready to hold it. I want to speak to the discouragement directly, not around it, not with a quick encouragement designed to lift the surface without touching what is underneath. I want to speak to it directly because it deserves to be addressed with honesty. There have been days in this season when you did not feel strong. There have been days when the faith that usually anchors you felt thin, when the discipline that usually carries you felt heavy, when the hope that usually orients you felt distant. There have been days when you looked at where you are and then looked at where you thought you would be by now, and the gap between those two things felt not just discouraging but defeating. Those days were real. That pain was real, and it would be dismissive to tell you it was not. But here is what is also real. You are still here in every single one of those days. Something held, not perfectly, not without cost, but it held. You did not leave. You did not abandon the path. You did not take a shortcut that would have cost you the destination. You stayed, even when staying was the hardest thing available to you. That is not small. That is the thing God is looking at when He looks at your life right now. Not the moments when it was easy, the moments when it was not, and you chose it anyway. If you have been carrying this kind of quiet endurance and no one in your life has named it for what it is, let this be the moment it is named. What you have been doing in this season is extraordinary, and it has not gone unnoticed. If these words are landing in a place that has been waiting to be reached, go to the comments and write where you are listening from today. Write what this season has cost you. Write what you are still believing for. Your words in the comments are not just for you. Someone else is going to read them and find something they needed to keep going. And if you want to support the work of this channel so that messages like this one keep reaching people in their most difficult seasons, the link is pinned in the comments below. Give through PayPal or buy me a coffee, any amount at all. Every seed sown here helps us reach more chosen ones who are in the middle of their waiting season and need to hear that the silence is not the end of the story. Now, I want to talk about what is coming, because the waiting season is not permanent. It has a completion point, and there are signs that indicate when that completion is near. The first sign is this: the things that once tempted you to abandon the path have lost their power. When you entered this season, there were exits available. Shortcuts that looked attractive, compromises that promised relief. You may have been drawn to them at various points, but something happened over time. The pull weakened, not because the exits disappeared, but because you changed. What once looked like an escape now looks like a detour. What once seemed like relief now feels like loss. That shift in perception is not accidental. It is the sign that what was being formed in you has taken hold. You are no longer the same person who entered this season, and the proof is in what you no longer want. The second sign is a deepened capacity for peace, not the peace that comes from circumstances arranging themselves the way you hoped. The other kind, the peace that exists independent of what is happening around you. The peace that is present even when the waiting continues, even when the answers are still not visible, even when the ground is still quiet. If you can find that peace in this season, even briefly, even imperfectly, you have developed something that circumstances cannot take from you. And that is a readiness signal. The third sign is clarity about what you are actually carrying. When you entered the waiting, you may have had a vague sense of calling, a general direction, a broad hope. If this season has been doing its work, that vagueness has been replaced by something more specific. Not a complete map, but a clearer sense of what you are built for, what you cannot walk away from, what you are willing to continue for regardless of timeline. That clarity is preparation. It means you are close enough to the destination to begin to see its shape. And the fourth sign is a shift in how you pray. Early in a waiting season, most prayers are focused on the outcome, on when, on how, on the specific shape of what is being hoped for. As the season progresses and the refining does its work, the prayers begin to change. They become less about the destination and more about the presence, less about the timing and more about the trust. That shift is not resignation, it is maturity. It is the sign that your faith has become less dependent on God performing on your schedule and more grounded in who He is regardless of schedule. And that is the foundation that can carry every promise He has for you. Take a moment here, breathe. Let these words settle. If you recognize any of these signs in yourself, if even one of them is present in your life right now, I want you to receive this clearly. You are not at the beginning of this season. You are near its end. The ground that looks quiet is not staying quiet. It is about to yield. Drop 333 in the comments if you believe that what God has spoken over your life is still true, that the promise has not expired, that the silence is not the final word. 3 is the number of divine completeness. Let that be your declaration today. And share this video right now with one person in your life who is in a waiting season and needs to hear that they have not been forgotten. You know who they are. Your one share could be the word that keeps them going. Let me tell you what the release of a waiting season actually looks like, because it rarely matches the version people have rehearsed in their imagination. Most people picture the end of waiting as a dramatic, unmistakable event. A door swings wide open with obvious fanfare. A confirmation arrives in bold and undeniable terms. Everything changes at once, and the change announces itself clearly. Sometimes that is how it happens, but more often, the release of a waiting season begins quietly. It begins with one small movement that seems almost ordinary, except that it creates a shift that then creates another shift, and another. The momentum builds gradually at first. Then suddenly, looking back, the person can identify the moment it turned. But in the moment itself, it did not feel like the dramatic arrival they expected. It felt like a small step, a small door, a small yes to something they almost let pass by. The release may begin with a conversation you were not planning on having, with an idea that arrives quietly and will not leave, with an opportunity that appears through an unexpected channel from a direction you were not watching, in a form you would not have recognized if you had not been changed by the waiting. The form of the release was shaped by the season that preceded it, and you are now shaped to receive it. I want to say something about the people who have been watching your waiting season from the outside, because there may be people in your life who have grown impatient with your patience, who have suggested you move faster, adjust your expectations, or settle for something smaller than what you originally believed for. Those voices came from people who love you and who have been worried about you. Their concern was real, but their counsel was limited. They could see the cost of the waiting. They could not see the construction happening beneath it. They could see the delay. They could not see the preparation. They were measuring your life by what was visible, and the most important things happening in this season were not visible. You were right to hold what you held, and you will understand why more fully than they can when what is coming arrives, and they see what the waiting built. This is the moment to receive what has been arranged. Every promise over your life that has not yet materialized is not cancelled. It is held. The one who made the promise has not forgotten it, has not moved on from it, has not replaced it with a lesser version because the timeline extended. God does not get impatient with his own promises. He does not substitute smaller outcomes because waiting became inconvenient. He holds what he promised with the same certainty on the final day of your waiting that he held it on the first. And what he has held for you is specific. It is not a generic blessing that could belong to anyone. It is shaped to you, designed for the particular person you have become through this season, fitted to the capacity that has been built in you through the fire. You are not receiving a generic provision. You are receiving something that required your exact journey to prepare you to carry it. This is why it could not have come earlier. Not because God was withholding, because you were not yet the version of yourself capable of receiving it without being undone by it. What is coming required the person you are right now. And the person you are right now required this season. Let us close with a declaration. Speak these words, not in the voice you use when you are uncertain, but in the voice you will use when you look back on this day and understand what it was. I am not behind. I am on time, on God's time, which is the only time that matters. I am not forgotten. I am being formed, and formation is not silence. It is construction. I am not diminished by this season. I am defined by it in ways that will be visible soon. I release the weight of the timeline. I release the comparison. I release the fear that the window has closed. I receive what has been held for me. I receive the completion of this season. I receive the harvest of what was planted in faith during the years that looked empty, and I declare that I am ready, not because everything is in order, not because I have all the answers, but because I have been prepared by a God who does not make mistakes. For a moment that has been set since before I was born. I am ready. Let it come. Amen. If that declaration moved through you the way it was meant to, write Amen in the comments below. Let heaven see your response. Let another chosen one in a waiting season read your Amen and find what they need to keep going. Subscribe to this channel if you have not yet. New messages are released for people walking through exactly the seasons you have been navigating. You belong here, and you do not want to miss what is coming next. Share this video before you leave. Someone in your life is in the middle of their waiting season right now and does not have language for what they are carrying. This might be the message that gives it to them. And if this channel has been a source of strength in your season and you want to support the work that makes these messages possible, the link is pinned in the comments below. Give through PayPal or buy me a coffee, whatever is on your heart. What you sow into this mission is a seed, and you already know what God does with seeds planted in faith during a waiting season. We are grateful for every chosen one who stands with this work. You are almost through. The ground is about to yield. Stay.